Thank you for listening to our daily devotional. The devotional today is from our daily Bible reading in Genesis 17 through 20, entitled, Does God Know Me? As we've been reading in the book of Genesis, we started out, the sin, of course, came into the world, and God in Genesis 3:15 promised there would be one of the seed of woman who would come and destroy the power of the devil, and really everything after that relates to it. And you think about how, as we face so many things, we saw, of course, God as he dealt with the wickedness during the time of Noah. We saw the spread of the nations, the confounding of the language. Then we looked at Job and the trials he faced. But then in chapter 12, if you remember, that's whenever God called out Abram. And it's clear, of course, that it is that promise in Genesis 3:15. It's going to be brought down through Abram and his descendants, as he promised in chapter 12. You get on and you find, of course, as we've read through, and then in last Friday's reading, how he made a covenant with Abram. And in chapter 18, there's an amazing thing that I think about. In Genesis 18 and in verse 19, as he speaks of Abram, he says, I know him, that he will command his children after his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice, judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham, that which he has spoken of him. And so God looks at Abraham and he says, basically, I trust Abraham. He's going to be the type of person who will command his household, his children, his household after him, that I can fulfill this promise. Well, you think about it, of course, and we know that God has sent his son, John 3:16. The Galatian letter tells us in chapter 4 that in the fullness of time Christ came forth. But it didn't stop there. You see, Christ came to save the world, to bring individuals to him. And if you and I were children of God, God trusts us. He expects us. I think of men, especially me being a father, a husband. In the book of Ephesians, the 5th chapter, I look at that and I think God trusts me to follow the pattern in that home so that I be who I ought to be for him, but also for my wife. In Ephesians 6, for my children, mothers, wives, the same thing in Ephesians 5 and Ephesians 6. Children obey your parents. Both are involved in that upbringing and passing on. And I think about how God trusted him, and Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, on down, that which God entrusted to Abraham was passed. And I think about me. You think about you. What God entrusted you with, the Word, to be a child of his, to live according to his will. And are we doing what we should to command our family, our children, to pass that down from generation to generation? Or am I breaking the chain? You read in the Bible about some who fail to be what they should. And some of them, you don't know what happened to their descendants, their children, their grandchildren. Others you do. But I need to realize my responsibility to continue that chain. So God told Abram, I know him, that he will. And I think, does God know me, that I will? I want to live up to that. I pray that we all do. Going through the Old Testament, we see God's purpose. Going through our life, we ought to see God's purpose. Thank you for listening. You have a good day. Let's live up to what God expects of us.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this short devotional. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll be notified of other devotionals that will be forthcoming. Also, we encourage you to join us online live as we stream our services at each service time. More information can be found on our website at the link below. Thank you.